One of the biggest questions I get in my comments is how safe is cruising? So today we're going to dive into just how safe Disney Cruise really is for the average traveler. If you've never been on a cruise before, you might have a lot of questions, especially when it comes to safety. Can you trust Disney Cruise Line to keep you and your family safe at sea? The short answer is yes, and I'm here to explain why. Everything from onboard security to health measures and what makes Disney Cruise Line one of the best for first-time cruisers. Let's dive in. Disney Cruise Line is often considered one of the safest cruise lines around, especially for families. They're known for going above and beyond when it comes to safety and cleanliness. It's not just about following regulations. Disney has a reputation for exceeding them. This is really what helps us have such faith in Disney Cruise Line and really in the Disney bubble in general, because Disney has a reputation for exceeding regulations. The safety protocols are top-notch, their ships are equipped with the latest technology, and the crew is trained to handle almost anything. Let's take their ships for example. These aren't just any cruise ships, these are floating marvels with advanced technology. They have stabilizers that smooth out the ride, reducing that feeling of seasickness. They have state-of-the-art navigation and weather monitoring systems, making sure the ship steers clear of dangerous conditions, and they have so many other systems in place. Fire suppression systems, really robust safety features that keep everyone protected. And when it comes to health, Disney doesn't take shortcuts. The ships are equipped with top-tier air filtration. They also have extensive measures in dining, and all across the ship actually they have hand stations for the tiny humans at the youth clubs. They will either have hand stations or sanitizing wipes depending on which restaurant you are going to. They are constantly cleaning. They even change out the serving utensils at the buffet every 30 minutes. And of course, there's always a medical team on board, ready for anything from minor injuries to more serious emergencies, which of course we hope you do not have on your cruise. Disney really does make sure you're in good hands. And one of the biggest things for me is really just how safe is it going to be for me and my family? What type of experiences and interactions are my kids going to witness on this ship? For example, other popular cruise lines have drink packages and visibly intoxicated people, which is not necessarily what we want our tiny humans seeing on our family vacation. Now, as a matter of fact, I did see somebody one time that was visibly intoxicated. This was actually at one of the nightclubs later in the evening, and they did go talk to him and escort him out. So let's break down some of the standout safety features that makes Disney Cruise Line so reliable. Every Disney cruise is going to kick off with a mandatory safety drill. This is their muster drill, and this might not be the most exciting part of your vacation, but it is essential. It ensures everyone knows where to go and what to do in case of an emergency. The crew is constantly trained in fire response, lifeboat deployment, and evacuation procedures. Disney even practices rare scenarios like man overboard situations, just in case. Oh, and those life jackets, they're inspected regularly, and the number of safety devices exceeds the passenger count, which is always reassuring. So as you can tell, onboard security is something Disney takes very seriously. You will also notice their team of trained security personnel keeping watch 24/7. This ensures everything runs smoothly. They also keep the ship secure with access control in certain areas. Basically, your key card is your passport to many parts of the ship. And just like the careful design of the ship's layout, there are cameras monitoring public spaces everywhere. Disney's not just about the fun, they're about making sure everyone is safe too. And one of Disney's strongest points is their commitment to health and cleanliness. Their high-touch areas are cleaned regularly, and if someone feels unwell, the onboard medical team is right there ready to help. There are even isolation areas if necessary, just to make sure everyone stays comfortable and safe. Now, of course, safety is important for ourselves, but really what makes me always worry about safety is our tiny humans. So if you are cruising with kids, you'll be happy to know that Disney Cruise Line has exceptional safety measures for their youngest guests. Now, for the youth clubs, they have multiple aspects of safety measures. First of all, these are separated by age. Adults are not allowed in except during open house, that's listed on the Navigator app. But each youth club has its own designated ages, and adults are not allowed inside. Vibe is for ages 14 through 17, Edge is for the tweens, and the Ocean Air Club and Ocean Air Lab are for those tiny humans ages 3 through 10. These are incredible spaces designed designed just for kids. They're totally secure. Only authorized adults are allowed to check children in or out. Of course, their counselors are well trained, and they also maintain strict adult-to-child ratios, which means your little ones are always in good hands. And the Navigator app is useful for parents to see what their kids' activities are throughout the day, and also you can message back and forth if you like through the app as well. Each tiny human will get a wristband. This is linked to their stateroom. This also makes it quick and easy for the crew to reunite any lost children with their families, which is very rare because they can actually see what general area they are in by the wristband identification. A little bit like an invisible safety net that's always there just in case. And for pool safety, Disney is one of the few cruise lines with lifeguards on duty at their pools. Now this surprised me actually during my research, because I would have thought cruise lines would have lifeguards at every pool. They do also provide life jackets for all children, and of course they do encourage supervision, but it's nice to know that the lifeguards are there as well. One of the other things that is really important to me is safety in the ports. Now, I'd highly encourage you to research any port that you are going to be visiting because you want to know what the safety levels are in those ports. Some are definitely safer than others, and this is another consideration where I like to go through Disney because with ports comes port excursions. You're always free to get off the ship and explore on your own. We definitely do that in the Caribbean in particular, but we also like to take port excursions. If you are looking into independent port excursions, like not going through Disney Cruise Line, as you are looking into port excursions, you may notice that there will be a third-party implementer of the excursion. So if you're going to look to book port excursions on your own, not through Disney Cruise Line, you may notice that you can get the exact same company for the exact same excursion at a little bit cheaper price if you don't go through Disney. The reason I still go through Disney is because of the safety factor. They're going to gather you on the ship to go to the excursion. If you book it separately, you're going to get off the ship and go find them. But also, to us, safety means getting on that ship before it leaves port. If for some reason there is an issue with your port excursion, traffic, vehicle breaks down, whatever the issue is, if there is any issue and you are late getting back to the port, if you have booked that excursion through Disney Cruise Line, they will either wait for you to get back to the ship, or they will make sure that you get transportation to the next port to get back onto the ship. If you book that excursion on your own, they will not do that. You will be stuck at port if you are late, and that is definitely not how you want to continue your vacation. And this also leads me into trip insurance. Travel insurance is really important for cruising. If there is anything that happens, you never know what can happen. You book these cruises so far in advance. I really do encourage that you get travel insurance as another safety backup. If you want to know more about safety, they actually have a passenger bill of rights because you do have rights while you're on a cruise ship. Now, one other really important factor for safety is dietary needs. They are excellent with dietary needs and restrictions. Make sure you note on the website in advance if you are going to have any of those. And once you are on the ship, make sure you speak with the dining guest services team. For some dietary needs, they will even want you to order the evening before just so they can make sure everything is safe. A few specifics that we found while doing our research: there is commitment to safety information on Disney Cruise Line's website. Their crew receives extensive instructions on what to do during an emergency. The ships will always meet and typically exceed regulatory safety requirements. They do this through continuous drills and exercises done by the crew and officers. That safety drill will be on your first day of the cruise. All guest services are suspended during that time. Those muster safety drills are mandatory and really important just so you know what to do if an emergency were to occur and where to go. Captains are well-rounded maritime professionals with more than 20 years of experience and are well regarded in the industry. And the deck and engineering officers regularly attend bridge and engine resource management training. Each Disney ship has an integrated electronic navigation system and navigation officers trained in the operation of the system. And as is required, they will also have annual audits and inspections done on the inside and outside of the ship by the U.S. Coast Guard and the U.S. Public and Health Transport. Okay, so let's tackle a few of the most common questions about Disney Cruise Line safety. Number 1, how often are crew members trained in safety procedures? Crew members go through regular drills throughout their contracts. Crew members spend a significant amount of time practicing evacuation drills, which does include unloading lifeboats and rafts. First responders run drills every week to practice various scenarios, while all crew members run drills every other week. This provides the entire staff practice in an emergency. Senior officers supervise these routines to make sure everyone knows what to do in case of an emergency. So you can rest easy knowing that the team is well prepared for anything that comes their way. Number 2, what happens during an emergency? This is where your muster safety drill is really important, because in an emergency, passengers are guided to their muster stations. These are your pre-assigned gathering spots. Crew members will be right there guiding you and helping maintain order, and everyone is trained to keep things calm and safe no matter what. Number 3, can we trust the kids clubs? Absolutely. Disney's kids clubs have secure check-in and check-out systems. For example, they will have a password set up. You can't just go and claim the child, and your kids will be under the watchful eye of well-trained counselors. Parents can enjoy some time off knowing their children are in a safe, supervised environment. Number 4, how safe are the verandas? The veranda doors actually have locks up on top. You do want to be mindful. Do not open your stateroom door and your veranda doors at the same time. They can make a vacuum and little fingers can get hurt. And if you want a different option, they will also have navigator verandas. And number 5, is the cruise ship gonna sink? And to this I say no. Disney Cruise Line has an impeccable safety record, and there has never been a serious threat of one of their ships sinking. Their fleet is built with advanced safety measures, including double hulls, watertight compartments, and state-of-the-art navigation systems designed to prevent such incidents. Now, that does not mean you will not run into rough seas or maybe even minor technical issues once in a while, but there has never been a significant danger to the integrity of their ships. Their commitment to passenger safety and maintenance helps ensure their cruises remain among the safest options in the industry. Now, of course, all of this being said, we also always recommend educate your tiny humans, your entire family, on specifics that you would like them to watch for. If there's anything in particular that you are worried about, just have that communication, have that conversation with your family. Even call Disney Cruise Line and have a conversation with them if you feel you need to. Of course, we love Disney for many reasons, but the safety aspect is one of the big ones. Disney Cruise Line goes above and beyond to ensure your safety and comfort at sea. It's clear why so many families trust Disney for their first cruise experience. They're also known for exceeding safety and cleanliness standards, regularly ranking high in the CDC inspections. Plus, Disney's track record speaks for itself. Serious incidents are incredibly rare, making it one of the safest cruise options out there. If you found this video helpful, please share it with someone who's thinking about their first cruise. And if you have more questions about Disney cruises, drop them in the comments below. If you haven't seen it yet, go check out the Disney Treasure cruise ship reveal. Their maiden voyage is this month. So exciting. And if you're hungry for even more, go check out what they don't tell you about Disney Cruise 2024.